Hey guys, welcome to Unreal Starter Kit. In this episode, we'll be making light switches that can switch lights on and off. I'm going to show you two ways to do this. Well, one way with two different types. One will be the light in the scene, and one will be a blueprint that we made from a light. Okay, so yeah, I have a light or a street lamp that I downloaded from Fab. I'm just going to add a light to it, or just a light into the scene. So on the top, quick add to the project. I'm going to click on the arrow. Then we're going to go down to lights. For this one, I'm going to use the spotlight. You can use the point light as well if you want, depending on what type of light you're looking for. But for this one, I'm going to use the spotlight. I'm going to drag the spotlight into the scene. Okay, I'm going to press W, and I'm going to just bring it up to where I want it. That seems fine. Okay, now I'm going to make the light switch blueprint. So right click, blueprint class, actor. I'm going to name this BP underscore light switch. Double click into it. Okay, now we want to add in a static mesh. So on the left hand side under the components, we click add static mesh, and then on the right side under the details, we want to go to static mesh and select the mesh that we want. So yeah, I have a light switch I've downloaded from Fab as well. It's very big, so let's make it smaller. So I'm going to change it by the scale to 0.05. okay, the static mesh will be on the left hand side, and the components you can rename that if you want, but for this I'm just going to leave it as static mesh because there's only one mesh in here that we have. So now let's go to event graph. These three I'm just going to delete. Okay, now we're going to need the interact interface that we created. If you haven't created it, you can go check my video on how to create one. For now, we need to go to class settings, and then we need to go down to implement interfaces, add. Now we can just look for the interact interface. Okay, the BP interact interface is the one that we made. Now we also need to add in a variable. So let's click plus a new variable. This one we can call light. We can go here to where the boolean is. Click. Now let's look for spotlight, because that's the one we put in our level. We want the spotlight and not the spotlight component. The one I generally use will be just the normal name, spotlight. Then we need the object reference. Now we want to make it to be able to be seen in the editor, so we can click on the eye. Okay, now by the interact interface on the left hand side, we can double click that to bring it into our graph. Now we want to get a flip-flop. Flip-flop. Now let's drag the light. We can say get, and out of the light we want to get set intensity spotlight component. Okay, let's control C for copy and paste. So A will go into the first one, and the intensity will be 0, and the B we put in the second one, and we can just set in a value for how bright you want the light to be. So I'm just going to put it for this one 1000. Compile and save. Minimize this. Now let's just make our scene a little bit darker. Let's hold in Control and L. Okay, that should be dark enough for us to see. Now I want the light switch. Let's just drag it in here. Press E to rotate it 90 degrees. Okay. Now we want to go to the right hand side under the details panel. We want to click on the eye, pick actor from scene, and we want to pick the spotlight. Okay, let's test it out. Play from here. Let's click. Okay, there it goes off. on, off, on, off, on. Okay. Now let's make the light in a blueprint. Okay, now let's go to Content Browser. In open space, let's right click. We click Blueprint Class, Actor. Now this one can be BP underscore streetlight. Okay, double click into it. And now we can add, under the components in the left hand side, add static mesh. This one we can say streetlight. Or name it whatever you feel like. And now on the right hand side under the details, let's go to static mesh. Click on the drop down arrow and there's my light road, my street light. Okay. Now I want to add in the spotlight in here as well. So we can add spotlight. You can add the point light or any light that you want. Okay, now it's facing that side. Now we want to rotate it. So we press E. Let's rotate it 90. Press W so we can move it to the position we want. I think that's fine for me. Now we can press compile and save. That's all we want to do in here. Now let's create another light switch. Right click, blueprint class, actor, BP underscore light switch 1. Double click into it. This is basically exactly the same as what we did last time. Add in a static mesh. You can name it light switch. You can leave it as static mesh, it's up to you. Name it what you want. Now we go to the left, the right side. Under static mesh, we can get the light switch. And because it's big, let's 0.05. Okay. Now let's go to event graph. These we can delete. Okay, now we need to go to class settings and then implement interface, add the interact interface. Okay, now we can add in a new variable. So we can say light. And by the blueprints this time we're going to be looking for our BP street light. And then the object reference. Okay, now interact interface, double click that. From here we pull it out and we say we need a flip-flop. Flip-flop. Okay, the light. Drag it out here, get light. And then from this one, set intensity. The point light will pop up, set intensity for the point light. This one, we can make it 5,000. Control C, Control V, and then the second one 0. So A now will go to 5,000 and B to 0. Okay. Compile and save. Let's go back to the street light quickly. We want to click on the spotlight and the intensity we want to set to 0 so that it starts when the light is off. Okay, compile and save. So make sure that this intensity is 0. If your light switch A is 5,000, but if your light switch in A is 0 and B is 5,000, then when you go to the street light, make sure that this has a value. So if A is 0, then intensity must be 5,000 or whichever one you want. If A is 0, this is 5,000. If B is 5,000, then this intensity will be 0. Okay, let's compile and save everything. Minimize this. Now let's take the street light. We can put it in the level you see. The light is there, but there is no light shining. Okay, now let's take the BP switch 1 that we made, drag it into the level, press E to rotate it 90 degrees, and now we can play from here. Oh, wait 1 minute or 1 second. we forgot to select this blueprint, so we click on the light switch. Oh, we didn't make it visible. So let's go into the light switch. Light, BP street light, click on the eye icon to make it visible. So we can pick which light we want. It's minimized. Now you see it is here, light. And we can click on the eyedropper to select the correct one. Now we select the BP street light. Okay, now let's play from here. Click where it's on, off, on. Okay, now let's go to this one, off, on, off, on. With the light, if we select the light from the level, when we put it on and off, the intensity is quite bright. So it's not the same as what the spotlight is. But in the one from the blueprint, it stays the same value. So it's all how you want. I always prefer making the blueprint than to selecting the light from the level. In the blueprint, you can do many other things. You can make the light flicker, flash, turn off on certain times, turn on certain times. There's so much you can do with making the light in the blueprint than just having the light in the level. Okay, thank you very much for watching this episode. See you in the next one. Please leave a like and subscribe.